Hey, good morning, scholars and staff. The time is now 7:29, so we're going to go ahead and get started this morning here on a Thursday, January 13th. There it is. Hey, so good to see all of you this morning in the Eagle's Nest here as we are in the Eagle's Nest today and tomorrow, and then we will be out of school on Monday and Tuesday of next week. Tuesday is a teacher work day, and we'll talk about Monday here in just a second here on the morning announcements. Got a couple of exciting things for you this morning on announcements. Looking forward to that. But before we do that, as always, let's make sure that we are following the Fairview 5. We're reviewing what that is. We've reviewed it over the past week and a half as we re-entered back for 2022. We want to make sure that we're actively listening to the speaker, keeping our hands and feet to ourselves. Number 3, cleaning up our area. Number 4, being kind to others with our words and our actions. And number 5, doing our best each day. Hey, a couple of reminders. So this got updated this morning. I want you to protect your device. So all scholars should have brought their device back today. And your charger, that should be in your backpack and your book bag, and your teachers will have you bring that out whenever they need those today. So make sure you are bringing those each and every day in the Eagle's Nest and taking them home at the end of the day. But most importantly, you're protecting those because you want to make sure that you're able to use those on a daily basis here in the Eagle's Nest. Also, let's make sure that masks need to be worn over your mouth and nose at all times, except for breakfast and lunch. Of course, you can't eat that. Can't eat with a mask over your face. That'd be a little weird. So make sure that you're pulling it down for that. You're eating and then right back up, right? Also, wash and sanitize your hands frequently. And we're wearing our one card each and every day. If you do not have a one card, or if your one card is not attached to your lanyard, right, please let your teacher know so that you can purchase a new one card. Want to make sure that we have our devices every day, our one card, and our masks. Just as a reminder, this is how you wear your mask. All right, let me move out of the way. Boom, right there, right over the mouth and nose at all times. That's a good thing. And then also keeping in mind what we talked about the other week, right, where we talked about whole body listening. We talked about keeping our hands and feet to ourselves, being kind, and then cleaning up our area. One of the ways we talked about cleaning up our area is by making sure that we're keeping our hands and feet off of the walls, especially while they're being painted, to preserve that paint and save that throughout the time and life here at Fairview. So thank you so much for continuing to do that. All right, so let's talk for just a few minutes about what Monday is going to be. And we're going to talk about even next week. I know we're out Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll talk a little bit more as well about MLK Day and what that means. So if you see in some of your classrooms, a lot of you have what we call learning targets, or what you will learn today. I'll say scholars will learn, and then that is what you will have. So over the next week, these are the things that you're going to learn. You're not only going to learn who was Martin Luther King Jr. A lot of you may have some prior knowledge on who Martin Luther King Jr. was, but you're going to learn when MLK Day is. What's the history of MLK Day? What were some of the things that MLK did? And then there's something else too. What other types of days are celebrated around the world that are like MLK Day? So I'm excited over the next week to start diving into some of this, and this will lead us perfectly into the month of February, where we highlight Black History Month and the contributions that Black and African Americans have made in the United States and beyond. So we will be talking about that in the month of February. But before we do that, we of course want to highlight Dr. Martin Luther King, because we are out of school on Monday. And it's just not a day out of school, right? It is so much more than just that. A lot of people have called Martin Luther King Day Serve Day. But just to give a little bit of background, let me get out of the way really quick so that you can see. There you go. Martin Luther King Day is observed every year on the third Monday of January. So it doesn't always specifically fall on his birthday, but it's on the third Monday every single year. And then, of course, you probably know a little bit about Martin Luther King, maybe from his I Have a Dream speech. Maybe you've heard of that or seen that. He was a fantastic speaker, or what we would call orator. But just we'll watch some of those as the weeks go through. But of course, Dr. MLK was best known for his work on racial equality. So we'll talk about that word equality over the next month and a half and helping to end racial segregation. Now, we read a couple of books earlier on in the year, like about the Mendoza family. And remember when they wanted to go to a certain school, but they couldn't based on the color of their skin. So that's that racial segregation that we'll talk a little bit more about over the next month or two. So you have a little bit of prior knowledge on that as well. But I wanted you to see something today. I wanted you to learn a little bit more about MLK Jr. Day on Monday, because it's not just something that just happened where everybody said, okay, hey, the third Monday, we're going to celebrate Martin Luther King. It actually didn't happen until later than a lot of us think. Dr. King died in the late 60s, and it didn't really become a day until the early 1980s. So if you take a look at these two individuals, one of them is a U.S. representative, the gentleman on the top, and then the person on the bottom, the gentleman on the bottom, he was a U.S. senator. So one of them was John Conyers. He's on the top, and the picture of Edward Brooke is on the bottom. They introduced a bill in Congress to make Martin Luther King's birthday a national holiday. Now, when they first did that, it got voted down. They said, no, we're not going to do this. And these two continued to push for that. And you take a look at the next bullet point, 6 million signatures were collected for a petition. So they went around and they got 6 million people sign a piece of paper that said, hey, we want Congress to pass a law, and we want for MLK's birthday to be a national holiday. So that was considered the largest petition ever in the United States, right? And so what happened is, and we'll dive deeper into these 3 points later on this week and next week, but on November 2nd, 1983, then sitting president Ronald Reagan signed a bill to observe MLK Day on the third Monday of every month. So this coming Monday, it's the third Monday, January 17th, and we will celebrate Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, but it's also what we call a day of service. And on a day of service, the reason that a lot of people refer to it as a day of service was because of the service that Martin Luther King Jr. provided for so many people each and every day. We'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow and as we move into next week. So I wanted to give you a little background history of Martin Luther King. Yes, we know that we know that it's the third Monday, but I wanted you to see where it came from. And these two gentlemen were two of the ones that you don't hear a lot about, but they were the ones that really pushed to make that happen. And then President Ronald Reagan was able to finally sign that in 1983. And it has been the third Monday of every January since 1984. So it's been around since 1984, and we're in 2022. So quite a long time by this point. So with that being said, I can't wait to talk to you a little bit more about Martin Luther King Jr. and the day on Monday, but then a little bit more about his life and his contributions to our daily life and what we do. All right, so something fun I want to do this morning on morning announcements. So we do this as a staff, your teachers and me and Ms. Fuller and the rest of the staff. We do this once a month, but we haven't had a chance to do it. So I said, man, why not do it on morning announcements in front of our awesome scholars this morning? So we have what is called a staff member of the month. Every month, let me come back in the screen here. There I am. Every month, we have a staff member who we highlight who does fantastic things in the Eagle's Nest. Now, as you know, scholars, we have some pretty awesome teachers and some pretty awesome staff. So it's really hard to choose every single month. So we always have to really think. It's like choosing Scholars of the Week. It's so hard, right? Everybody's deserving of that, or there's a lot that are deserving of that. But our staff members of the month, man, they get to take home some really cool stuff. They get to take home the greatest next level belt of all time. It says staff member champion. This thing's heavy. They get to take home a little eagle, a little wooden eagle that says staff member of the month. This thing right here is great. I hand carved this with my own hands. No, I didn't. I'm sorry, I didn't. But it looks cool though. So I tell people that I did that. They also get a really cool parking spot. When you're an adult, you'll love parking spots. Those things are fantastic. They get it right in front of the school. But we choose a staff member that is always doing not only the right thing, they're following the Fairview 5, doing great things, but they are just going above and beyond and going next level. So here's what I want you to do this morning. When I do the next slide, it's going to show you who the staff member of the month is. And I really, really, really want you to cheer as loud as you can for this staff member, because why not? This staff member is awesome. They're doing great things, and they need to hear you from all around the building, because they may be upstairs or downstairs. So if they're upstairs, they want to hear downstairs. If they're downstairs, they want to hear upstairs. So without further ado, our staff member of the month. Little drum roll here. I got a little drum roll. Who could be our staff member of the month? Ooh, I hear a drum roll right behind me. I love it. It's none other than Mr. Tobin. Hey, congratulations, Mr. Tobin. You are the staff member of the month. Mr. Tobin is awesome. He is so awesome. He does a lot for our school, so we are super excited about him and that he is the staff member of the month. Hey, Mr. Tobin, I'm coming to bring you some gifts this morning. Thank you so much for being in the Eagles Nest this morning, and thank you to all of our teachers and staff each and every day. Hey, scholars, I'd give a fist bump, an elbow bump to your staff members today and to your teachers, because they are awesome. They show up and do great things every single day for you. So excited to see you in the Eagles Nest today. If you see Mr. Tobin in the hallway today, give him a high five as well, as we appreciate him and his service to the Eagles Nest. All right, guys, it's 7:40. Time to get after it today. I hope that you have a fantastic day today. Looking forward to seeing you in action, and make sure that the mask is over your mouth and nose and that you're having an excellent day. And as always, be great, because you are great. Have an awesome Thursday.